Hello, I am Alain Robledo, founder of AtelTrainer. Chantal is going to narrate this audio video about healthy professional life. I recommend you to listen to this audio video in a relaxed state. Even better, if you can listen to it lying down comfortably to surrender to the words narrated by Chantal. This is part of the Transcendental universal knowledge transmission, which will help you to live free and liberated. It will make a big understanding arising in you. Transcendental love hug to you.
Healthy professional life. In this video, we will talk about the history of social evolution, notoriety, work and health, healthy work, discovering the perfect vocation or job, also making the outline of the discovery of vocation, and we will end with a brief description of AtelTrainer and the other books we have available. History of social evolution. Since the beginning of human history, human beings have had to adapt to survive in their environment, developing over the centuries the ability to domesticate nature to ensure their survival. The aforementioned domestication of nature has been extremely exaggerated since the industrial era, and today we suffer its outcome, destructive for both the planet and the people. Initially, the livelihood of human beings depended on hunting and fishing, until they sought stability by obtaining sustenance through agriculture and livestock, thus establishing a sedentary life and creating the first settlements. This evolution helped mankind to stop having to run from one place to another, according to the rhythm of the seasons and migratory movements of animals, enjoying more comfort and security by belonging to related local groups, where the traits were complementary to facilitate the life of the village. Over the course of many centuries, human intelligence was sharpened so that a privileged few made others work as slaves, thus obtaining immeasurable abundance through the sweat of others. Notoriety and the quest for power were born there. Besides the fact that slavery sadly still exists nowadays, especially child slavery in unscrupulous countries, we follow the same evolutionary mechanisms of the past, based on the search for notoriety and power to obtain abundance for a few and poverty for many. This imbalance between the notables, the rich and powerful, and the middle, lower, marginalized and poor classes is the origin of conflicts in the world. Some struggle not to lose their dominion that guarantees them an extreme abundance, which, by the way, is useless on a practical level. And others struggle to survive, full of hatred, resentment, feelings of injustice. Power equals egoism. Power plus notoriety equals egoism squared. Egoism squared equals injustice, separatism, and wars. Notoriety. The values that our ancestors have transmitted to us, generation after generation, are based on the need to be the best, to belong to the dominant class, as well as transmitting to us through the memories of our DNA what is right, valuable, important, and the traditions and cultures of the past to follow. These unconscious inheritances have led us to evolve in the division and tension between people on the planet and individual discomfort. Hence, from early childhood to university, the need to succeed in life is reinforced in order to be protected from marginalization and poverty. Marginalization and poverty that were created by the injustices and unconsciousness of the past. Nature provides us all with everything we need to be able to live free and happy for many years. Air, water, food, captivating landscapes with their fauna and flora, etc. This situation of the search for excellence in people's lives for fear of failure contributes in the first place to the fact that the suicide rate in the world is very high and continues to increase every year. According to the World Health Organization, suicide is the second leading cause of death in the world's population aged 10 to 24. Annually, 100,000 teenagers commit suicide worldwide, and for every suicide, there are between 10 and 20 attempts. For example, death by suicide has been the leading cause of death among South Korean youths since 2007. For a South Korean teenager, not being able to access a prestigious university means failing, just as getting into one of the best universities in South Korea means being guaranteed lifelong success. Hence, the great pressure exerted on young people. Something similar happens in other countries, such as China and Japan, and also in Western countries. Not to mention the generation of mental disorders, such as anxiety, depression, caused by this unbalanced social pressure to be accepted in a society that surfs between economic crises, recessions, wars, threats, cycles of high unemployment rates. There is a ranking of the best universities in the world that compete with each other. The best ones are those which have the highest number of students with the best qualifications and possibilities to access jobs with elite salaries. This game between companies, universities, and students generates a competition that destroys the well-being and peace of mind of students, failing to realize that a person with less qualifications, but with aptitudes, attitudes, and inner peace will be more motivated and flexible, performing better in the long run. Work and health. Everyone knows that money does not make happiness, but few have the courage to look for jobs they like, despite them having lower salaries and being less professionally remarkable than others. As a direct consequence of having chosen a profession according to the individual's innate aptitudes, the level of stress and frustration will be very low, favoring a better metabolic functioning, protection against anxiety and insomnia. That is to say, taking care of physical and mental health. A person who likes their job beyond its salary will transform obligations into interest. Most young people are influenced, conditioned by relatives, tutors, and teachers to strive to pursue prestigious careers to meet the expectations of parents or their social environment. They are also motivated by personal ambition, seeking social recognition. Societies are competitive, overriding people's search for emotional satisfaction. This is confirmed by the increasing levels of personal and professional dissatisfaction and the increase of mental illnesses in the world. Willpower is not about silencing the inner voice of people, but to draw strength to achieve this job that is needed to feel fulfilled, at peace with oneself and with the world. To have a house, a roof, food, water, affection, health, and an emotionally rewarding vocational job is to have it all. To have the freedom to travel and to have free time to pursue hobbies, happiness without regrets, to sleep peacefully without fear of tomorrow. A person who seeks notoriety, power, wealth, sells their freedom and soul to their work to get more money, to have more patrimony, to enter the ranking of the richest or most notorious, to be able to buy everything. The addictive satisfaction of accumulating money and material wealth is overcome by the need to be valued, respected by others. These people will be slaves to their wealth and prestige for fear of losing it. In most cases, rich people sadly generate superficial personal relationships, birthing the doubt. Do they really love me? Or do they love me for my money or power? The search for fame is even more dangerous, because once you achieve it, you leave in a cloud of applause and admiration from your fans. Fame is as fleeting as fashion itself. There is no lack of stories of artists, celebrities, who, after a few years of happiness for being admired by their fans, press, and television, fall into oblivion because their days of glory are over, opening the door to depression, addictions, etc. Everyone likes to be admired, to be recognized, but by keeping your feet on the ground, you avoid falling down from too high. For a few years now, the figure of the influencer has been capturing the attention of young people on social media, selling their enviable private lives, sometimes uncovering their intimacies, sometimes even putting their lives at stake, all to get 1 million likes and more followers. There is already a long list of influencers who have lost their lives or have become invalids for exceeding the limits of human stupidity in its maximum splendor. The number of followers is the currency used by influencers, YouTubers, to increase their millionaire and, in some cases, multi-millionaire incomes. Influencers are the inspiration, the example to follow for young people with their heads full of dreams for having it empty of other aspirations, hoping to one day be famous and boast an enviable lifestyle surrounded by luxuries, just like their idols. Since being rich is a goal in our manipulative and ignorant societies, influencers have created a way to become multimillionaires without needing to study or go to the office from Monday to Friday. They make up their lives to look fantastic in front of the public and upload them on social media, where millions of young people without a life of their own are waiting for them. No training is needed, just a computer, a smartphone, and the ability to transform reality into fantasy. The smartest influencers have created online courses to teach how to become a multimillionaire without actually working. It's sad, but the saddest thing is not the influencers themselves, but the fact that there are millions and millions of people who want to be like them. Influencers should not be confused with the reference groups that, through their example of life and self-improvement, help people to overcome life's difficulties. Seeking comfort that takes us away from the survival struggles of our ancestors answers the positive evolution of humanity and the planet. But the evolution of the human being has broken the balance between people and nature. influencers and their followers are not to blame for anything. They are only a reflection of the decadence and imbalance of the economic and social model of humanity. When every human being on the planet is born, they should have the opportunity to be themselves, to make their life choices in total emotional freedom. Then, we will live in a world of perennial peace and happiness. More information in the manuscript on the New World coming very soon, which you can find linked in the description below. Technological advances, such as social media, are necessary if they ensure the welfare of people in total harmony with nature, so as to not endanger the future of new generations and all beings that inhabit this wonderful planet. Only the misuse of technologies and the obsessive connection with social networks is negative. Personal anecdote. In the past, I was a personal trainer for VIP clients. I was a personal trainer and consultant to one of the biggest fortunes in Spain. One day, he said to me, "Alain, when I was young, I dreamed of having wealth. But now that my wealth is huge, I am a slave to it, especially in times of crisis like 2008. I felt in the hearts of most of my VIP clients, many of whom had unlimited purchasing power, a great loneliness and sadness. This happens when you realize that the most important things in life, such as true love and selfless trust, cannot be bought. Guilty consciences, which come for having had to perform unethical actions in the past in order to obtain contracts, do business, still the inner peace of people in moments of reflection that the passing of years brings to the surface. Healthy work. All people are born with innate aptitudes to develop activities in harmony with oneself. More information in the audio-video Transcendental Psychology, which you can find linked in the description below. Parents and tutors, concerned about the welfare of their children, should help them find their personal and professional path, focusing on reconciling profession and happiness. We are talking about vocation. I hope I have been able to explain, without leaving any doubt, that the most important thing in life is to be well with oneself and with the environment. For that reason, the professional life, to which we are going to dedicate more than 12 years, has to be vocational to allow us to continue growing as a person while being fully satisfied year after year. What is the point of being the best lawyer, judge, or economist in the world, earning lots of money and prestige, if you are not happy and you fill the little free time that you have available with compensatory distractions and quote-unquote dreamy trips, which only reinforce the emptiness in your heart? The perfect profession is discovered when a person feels fulfilled, without the need for big purchases, travels, and recognition, for being free, for not having to fill an empty existence, for living close to fulfillment. When children are asked what they want to be when they grow up, many answer, football player, president, model, actor, famous, because it has been transmitted to them through television, through the comments of admiration of their family members and other adults, that these people are happy because they are admired and wealthy. How many parents sign up their children to play soccer, baseball, basketball, national sports in many countries, expecting their kids to become champions with multi-million-dollar contracts? How many parents, lawyers, doctors, expect their children to follow the family's tradition? Discovering the perfect vocation or job. To help children find their perfect vocation or job, they are helped to feel and not think things through. They are helped to be themselves from the inner intention. At school, they are taught to read and write. But at home, they should be taught transcendental knowledge, common sense, which will help them to feel and not think. The balance between the rational and non-rational will guide them to discover themselves throughout the years. They will trust their intuition because they will be free of existential doubts, fostering creativity, spontaneity, and self-esteem. This creativity is what will make flourish any task or job undertaken by people who practice feeling and not thinking. A child must be taught the real dangers of life so that they can be cautious and learn to avoid them without fear. Caution, yes. Fear, no. A child should be spoken to as an adult, and it will help them to be responsible. A child must be listened to. Their opinion on adult matters must be heard, as they are a bearer of the seeds of evolution. To help children to choose the most appropriate profession for their personality, for their life's mission, families have to complement academic education with complementary activities and situations, so that children can discover what they like, what suits them, or what does not. To make it easier for children to easily choose their vocation, they have to, among others, learn to be alone, have activities with many people, have activities with few people, experience life in the city, experience life in a village, town, experience rural life, isolated in the middle of nature, experience the care of animals, horses, herds, etc., experience situations of caring for the elderly and children, experience the practice of competitive sports, practice recreational sports, practice individual and collective sports, practice adventure sports, such as rafting, alpine skiing, Nordic skiing, climbing, martial arts, etc. Practice classical, contemporary, and modern dance. Practice music and singing. Learn how to swim. Learn and practice the transcendental beingist meditation, like secular, for a few minutes. It is also very important that parents and tutors regularly have deep and sincere conversations with them, where the child is sure to ask 1,000 questions. More than the answers themselves, the attention that their loved ones pay to them will be more important for the child. To be listened to. Love, union. There should be no taboo subjects between parents and children. Young people have to know in which world they are living in order to be able to find their place in it. Parents and tutors should not force their children to practice their religion and beliefs, if they are to grow up free, in connection with their own heart essence, that is, with the energy that gives them life, and that will guide them through the years in fullness. outline of the discovery of vocation. A vocation can change or be combined with other vocations according to the stages of life. Affinity since childhood, loving nature. Matching professions, forest ranger, river ranger, agricultural engineer, biologist, gardener, etc. Affinity since childhood, loving people. Matching professions, physician, surgeon, nurse, lawyer, teacher, trainer, firefighter, police, etc. Affinity since childhood, loving animals. Matching professions, veterinarian, wildlife protection, farmer, friendly livestock farmer, etc. Affinity since childhood, loving children. Matching professions, teacher, early childhood educator, pediatrician, caregiver, monitor, etc. Affinity for the universe, the planet, since childhood. Matching professions, scientist, physicist, industrial, aerospace engineer, architect, etc. Affinity for technology since childhood. Matching professions, IT engineer, computer scientist, etc. Affinity since childhood, loving art. Matching professions, artist, writer, painter, actor for theater or TV, singer, professional dancer, humorist, entertainer, etc. Affinity for stealing and lying since childhood. Matching professions, corrupt politician, criminal. A vocational entrepreneur or businessman, non-speculator, will create jobs in the sector related to their sensitivity, contributing to maintaining the balance of their country's economy and to the welfare of the people. Without employees, there is no company. Without company, there are no employees. Erroneous current motivation. Nowadays, the process shared in the previous scheme so that the student can choose the most appropriate profession for themselves is not taken into account. Students are only encouraged to opt for the most valued professions, the ones that offer the best salaries, according to their academic aptitudes, regardless of their deep preferences. From early childhood, people are conditioned by dubious social values. Student, good academic grades, better university, high-paying jobs, notoriety, equals unhappiness and disorders of all kinds over the years, unless it matches their innate affinities. AtelTrainer. If you feel that our article has attracted your attention, we invite you to visit the website www.AtelTrainer.com. Transcendental Training and Ancestral Beingness Healing Center, far from religions and beliefs. You can also immerse yourself in the transcendental knowledge that belongs to all of us by listening and reading the more than 130 author's notes, audio-video, which you can find linked in the description below. Available books: the AtelTrainer Method books, Book 1, Psychofitness Holistic, Book 2, Zen Sport, Book 3, Transcendental Training, Book 4, Transcendental Love, Ancestral Healing, Book 5, New World, coming very soon, Book 6, The Origin of Mental Illnesses and Disorders and Their Liberation. Thank you for helping us to share transcendental knowledge so that we can finance the projects of the Beingist Foundation. A hug of transcendental union for you. We are Alain, Tello, Robledo, Beingist, founder of AtelTrainer and AtelTrainer's team. Far from religions and beliefs.